All right. Happy Friday morning, everyone. Welcome to your weekly focus. I've been doing these weekly focus series every Friday at 10 o'clock. So make sure that you mark your calendar and plan to come and join us. Note to self, do not eat cherry tomatoes before going live. Because right now, all of my glands are just like, oh man, that tomato is really good. But I'm going to be struggling a little bit swallowing and things like that. So note to self, no cherry tomatoes before going live. Hey, this is a live broadcast, by the way. And so anything that happens, anything could happen. Hey, we've had bloopers, right? What I'd love you to do is be interactive with me this morning. And you have the ability to drop a comment actually just write a comment and I can bring that on live and we can interact with each other. So today's topic is understanding your why, right? How many of you out there have heard about, you need to know your why. You need to understand why, right? And you know what? Quite frankly, knowing your why is really the key to lasting motivation and change in your life. And we're going to dig deeper into that this morning. But before we do that, I'd like to know who's with me live. So make sure you drop in a comment, give me a heart, let me know where you're coming in from. That's always great. I know in one of our lives, last year we had somebody come in from South Africa, so that was pretty cool. So feel free to drop a comment while I'm talking this morning. Again, this is interactive. We are live in Facebook and over on YouTube. So it doesn't matter where you're coming in from. Make sure that you use the comment section to interact with me this morning. So again, happy Friday, everyone. So let's get started. I don't want to drag this thing out this morning because we've got a lot to do. It's Friday. It's Labor Day weekend. Maybe some of you are getting in the car. Maybe you've loaded up the camper. This is the last camping trip of the year. And so we want to get you out and going. But before we do, we want to talk a little bit about what's important for you. Now, you've heard me on previous lives. I talk about organizing your life around the things that matter most. Because I think it's really important that sometimes when we go through life and we really just do the daily get up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, get up, go to work, that becomes a boring, mundane life. And sometimes, we have to do that. That's part of what it is we need to do to survive. But it's really not what matters most, is it? The things that matter most to us are generally family and friends and making a difference and doing things that have purpose in the society. And so we're going to start with the why. So we talked a little bit last week about habits. This is actually a 12-part series that I'm doing. So this week we're going to focus on why, your why, and start with that. And I loved kind of starting this conversation centered around categories of whys, right? So a lot of times when people say, well, why do you do what you do? Sometimes that's a little hard to answer, but most of the time we're going to go to, we do this for our family. Now, I like to kind of say, well, that's not really a good reason why. Doing it because you want to have more time with the people that you love the most. And in order to do that, that's what's driving you into action. But doing it for someone else or for something else is usually going to be short-lived, and you're going to get frustrated by that because it's not what you want. And that's why we're talking about what is your why. So, and again, remember, this is interactive, so I'd love to get some feedback in the comments section as we're going through this. So if you already know what your why is, man, drop that in here. I'd love to know that. But I love these categories because your why can change, your why can evolve, your why can be different. And knowing these categories, you might have different whys for different reasons. So obviously, in our personal life, we tend to think about our why is centered around health and family, right? We do the things we do. We want to be healthy so that we can live long, spend more time with our family, do more fun things, interact with the people that matter most to us. And so what is your why? My why might be I do what I do so that on the time that I have to spend on the weekends with the kids and grandkids, we get to go full out. Or maybe on a Wednesday, Denise can drive over to Roseville and go visit the grandkids, or drive down to San Diego because we don't need to check with anyone, right? So we do what we do so that we can have that freedom to do the things that matter most to us. So personal is probably the number one why. Vocational, right? What we do for an income or a career. And I put income in there specifically because the reason we work is to generate income. Now, some of us have really meaningful careers and we do it to help others and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we do what we do generally to provide income. That's our vocation. And so what is our why centered around that? Making a meaningful difference in the lives of thousands of people. Is that what drives you to do what you do every day? Maybe you're in real estate or you're in the mortgage industry. And so your vocational why would be maybe to be able to help families get into a home, to be able to secure their financial future. And so you have a vested interest in helping them really create a meaningful part of their life in home ownership and things like that, right? Or helping them get the loan to be able to get into their first home. So, what drives you into action is kind of what goes into this why. So why, but then what is it that motivates you, excites you, that you're passionate about, that drives you into taking the actions to get up every day and do what you do, right? So another category is creative, and this is one that we actually don't spend a lot of time talking about. Would you agree? Is there are things that we love to do that provide us joy, right? Maybe some of you are musicians. Hey, drop a comment in the chat if you are a musician or a painter, or you love doing crafts, or you love making quilts, right? Some people do these things for hobbies. Some people actually turn their hobbies into careers. I think that's kind of a really great way to turn your why and get your why into action. I love gardening and determining where the plants are going to go in the yard based on what if the deer is going to eat them or whether they're going to get, the right amount of sunshine and water. I love the creative side of determining that. And then maybe at night, lighting up those plants with some lights. That's creative to me. And what I love, and I really do spend time each and every week doing that as part of my creative outlet. So some of you, play an instrument, a guitar, or the drums, or whatever, and you're in a band, and this is your creative outlet. And this would be one of your whys, right? It drives you into action because you love doing it. You love entertaining, and you love doing the things that find you joy. And then kind of the last category of why, and there may be others. I'm limiting it to these four, but in most cases, these are the four categories that most people, when they're trying to determine their why, and what drives them into action, these are generally the key four categories. And the last one is life, right? What meaning and purpose do you have in your life that can make a difference in this world? Some people love charitable contributions or impacting young adults and helping them learn skills, right? We love working with children, or maybe we love working with young families, or maybe we love investing in bettering society and helping the homeless and feeding people that don't have food and doing things that find you great meaning and who have a great purpose. And again, I think the key to determining whether you have a really good why is whether or not you find joy in that. So again, if you've already created your why, or maybe you're working on a why right now, feel free to use the comments, whether you're with me live or you're listening to this in replay. I'd love for you to fill up the comments with some of the things that you're working on to enhance your why, because I think it's so important to organize your life around what really matters most to you. And so let's put some of this into some practicality, into action, because I think, if we just think about it and we don't really write it down and we don't really get into action with it, then these just become dreams and wishes and later on disappointments because we didn't accomplish the things that we wanted to. We didn't spend time with the family that we wanted to. And so I want us to kind of begin to put things into action. So here's kind of your action steps for the week. Now that we've kind of laid the foundation about these four categories of your why, and that is to take time this week, maybe even today, maybe this afternoon, maybe before the Labor Day weekend, sit down. Maybe you grab a 3x5 note card. Maybe you grab a notepad, a journal, whatever it is for you. I'd love for you to take time to reflect on what matters most to you and what is your why, what drives you to do the things you do to make those things become reality. So take time, reflect on those, take a half an hour, take an hour, go grab a nice beverage and and take some time to yourself this afternoon. Because, and what I want you to reflect on is, what are the things that you're most passionate about? And we talked a lot about those. It could be family, it could be career, it could be some of your creative outlets, the things that you love to do that you find joy, and maybe the things that really in society provide meaning and purpose, not just to your life, but the lives of others. So what is it you're most passionate about? And you might be passionate about a lot of things. Write all those out. Write it out until you can't come up with any more passion, right? And then I want you to also maybe draw a line after you do that and say, what drives you into action, right? Because if all these things you're passionate about, but you don't dedicate time and effort and energy and do things each and every day that move you towards those things that you find and hold dear, then it's just a wish list. It's just a hope. It's a desire. It's an intent. But we need to put that into action in order to make it reality. So what drives you into action? You know, I think of somebody in the morning that says, hey, I'm really passionate about health and fitness. And so every morning I put my shoes by my bed and as I get out of bed, I basically step right into my shoes. I go right off to the gym, and I do that because it provides me joy, right? And so because it provides you joy and you feel better and the endorphins kick in and it gets all the blood circulating, it gets your mind clear. It helps you really escape from reality sometimes. And then that sets up the rest of your day because you've got all this energy. And then you go out and you do the things that, again, find you joy. So what drives you into action? And then kind of the last question in determining what your why is, what really matters most to you? What matters? What makes a difference and an impact on your life and the lives of people that you really care about? And so when you write all these things out, then you're going to be very clear on what your why is. And then, I should have put this in there as another one, I want you to summarize your why in a paragraph so that you can encapsulate what is driving you into action. And then take 3x5 cards and write out your why multiple times. Take 3, 4, 5 cards. And I want you to put it on your mirror in the bathroom. I want you to put it on the refrigerator. I want you to put it in your gym shoes so that every time you're getting ready to go off to the gym, you actually are reminded of your why. And I want you to each and every day for the next 30 days, read out your why out loud. There's something about verbalizing your why that will get you into action because, you know, what is it you're trying to create? What is it you're passionate about? What's getting you revved up and what matters most to you? And when you simply share that and read that out loud, I love sharing it with other people. Man, it's an amazing impact that you can make in the lives of others. Hey, I love it, Jeff, for placing your comment. I just pulled it up. I'm cutting off part of my head. My why, hopefully you don't mind, Jeff. My why is changing after 10 months in this program. Okay, Jeff is one of the clients on our health and wellness program, and he's found great success and starting to take back his life. One is to make others to feel better about themselves and learning to create positive habits that are rewarding. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing that this morning because I think it's really impactful. Yeah, okay. Just so everybody knows, I got permission. Yeah, I probably did it before I got permission, but Jeff, hey, thanks for giving me the okay to do that. So, and if there's anybody else listening live this morning, feel free to use this comment. I love to interact. It really gets me going. So, all right, one last thing before we kind of wrap up our call. Again, continue to use the chat, but I wanted to just share. Remember last week we were talking about habits. And we were talking about the little tiny things we do each and every day, the little millimeters, the drinking the water, the getting a good night's sleep, making a good healthy decision in terms of food. We were talking about it from a health perspective, but it happens in life as well. These habits really roll over into relationships and things like that. So we talked about the book by James Clear on atomic habits, and I love it. It's not the big things that matter. It's the atomic little things that you do consistently over time that create amazing results. So I want to share with you that starting the 1st of September, we have a new September Atomic Habits Challenge starting September 1st. It's going to go all month during the month of September. There are going to be tips. There are going to be encouragement. There's going to be motivational videos. There's going to be an opportunity for you to interact. It's free to join, but if you invest $20, then you get put into the prize pool. And there's right now, this little graphic says $5,000. There's over $10,000 in the prize pool that will be given away to challengers who improve in their health. And there's different paths. So you can focus on a weight loss percentage of your total body weight, or you can work on earning points by drinking water and getting a few steps in each day. So again, these are little things. It's not catastrophic. It's not complicated. It's just fun to run with other people that are focusing on improving their health. And so I'd love for you to join the challenge. This is an invitation for you to join the challenge. So grab your phone, scan the QR code right here on the screen. And when you scan the QR code and you begin registering to participate in the challenge, let them know that you want to join Team Russ McCann. So it's going to ask for the team captain. Maybe I should get like a captain's hat, but team captain Russ McCann. And you can put this number, RM Russ McCann 7557. That's the last 4 digits of my phone number, by the way. So the number sign RM 7557. That'll help them find you and put you in my team challenge so that we can kind of run together. We have a private message thread and we interact personally. So I'd love to personally invite you to come and join us for that. So right now, let me know in the comments if you're going to join me on the challenge. So I'd love to have 15, 20, 30 people join me personally in the challenge. I think right now, I don't know how many thousands of people that are in the challenge, but it's a lot. So you may be seeing this out on social media. There's people all over the country joining the Atomic Habits Challenge. And again, it's based on James Clear's thought about the little small atomic habits over time. So we're going to put last week, and we're going to put that into play during the entire month of September. So make sure that you join me. Again, feel free to use the comments. By the way, if you make a comment and you've listened to this in replay, I actually respond to every single question and comment. And so feel free to use the comments. And even while we're live, it allows me to be interactive with you. So, hey, I want to play a short video about the challenge to get you pumped up, to get you motivated, and get you to register. So here we go. All right. Hey, isn't that cool? I'd love for you to come and join me on the challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to interact with each other. It's not real complicated. Actually, it doesn't take any time at all. In fact, every day you're just going to log in and watch a short video of inspiration, a couple of tips for the day, and you get to report your points each day. So like if you're doing your walk and you get in a couple thousand steps, doesn't take much to do that. In fact, just throughout the course of the day, maybe even running around the house, you might be able to get 2,000 steps, or drinking a little bit of water. We all need to do that. And then some of you might be utilizing the challenge to be able to focus on your weight loss goals. So maybe you're focusing on eating right or working out or doing some of the other habits that lead to you being physically healthy. And those that are going down that path are great too. It did show a lot of the pictures of some of our clients that have gotten healthy over the years, that there's a before and then there's an after. And then there's an after the after, which means, yeah, you've lost your weight, but are you going to be able to keep it off? And so there are these little micro habits that we're going to learn over the course of the challenge: drinking more water, getting a good night's sleep, being more physically active, get up out of the chair and get some movement in, do things that you find meaning and purpose, learn how to manage stress, really incorporate the things that matter most to you and act on those. That's what we've been talking about. And so that's kind of how I'm going to wrap up today's call. And that is act on your why. Because if you just make a list of all the things that you want to do and why you want to do them, but you never actually get into action to do them, you're going to be disappointed, frustrated. And many people, when they do not accomplish their goals because they didn't do the work, then they get really frustrated and maybe even sometimes depressed. And then it creates a different cycle. So if you really establish your why and you just do something little to move you in the direction of that over time, that's what James Clear is talking about in Atomic Habits. Over time, you're going to be able to create an extraordinary life. And so again, I invite you to come and join me every Friday at 10 o'clock for your weekly focus. And if you go over to YouTube, my YouTube channel, you just go to YouTube and search Russ McCann. You can find my YouTube channel, and all the lives that I've done over the last year or so are there, including last week and the week before. And I would just invite you to subscribe over there. I don't do any monetizing of my YouTube channel. That's not why. I want you to go and get value. Well, I want you to go and really make a difference by learning these things, make a difference in your own life. So anyway, it's been fun. I love all the people that have interacted with me today. And again, feel free to use the comments even after the live today to just provide some feedback and interaction. Hopefully you found value. Always love it if you can maybe drop in there what you found valuable today in my life. So with that, you guys go having a great Labor Day weekend. If you get together with family, just enjoy them. I bet you that's one of your whys. So get that why into action. And with that, you guys go out and have a great weekend.